Hello, Saints, and welcome back to some more CollegiateR6 action. My name's Jackson the Pride Brown, once again joined alongside Dan, Mr. Danner's Banner. Wow, what a game we just came off of there between West Virginia Wesley Community College and then St. Clair College as well here. I mean, both teams are absolutely battling it out, and now 1-1, getting ready to hop on to Villa for game number 3, the decider. The loser gonna go home, the winner gonna go to round 2 of playoffs.
I mean, there's just so much to talk about here for this match at hand here. Both of these teams, we're having a hard time in regards to rosters across the entire season, coming in clutch, yet able to still put themselves in playoff contention, and it's all coming down to game 3 on Villa, which has been a relatively neutral map that we do not see the Saints play a lot on, to be completely fair. So I'm very curious how this one's going to end up. So like I said, a ton on the line. This is a single elimination playoff, so if you're done here or you go down here, that is it. And with it being 7-3 from both games, that's just interesting to say the least, and very odd too, because from talking to Jam Beast in between games, he was saying that we were good on Oregon yesterday. Why didn't it happen today? You could tell some frustrations coming out from the coach.
Yeah, you could definitely see some frustration there from the players as well. You know, it's just tough to lose that one 7-3, knowing you went into half at a 3-3 scoreline. I think that's the big killer, right? Is going into the half with the scoreline you did and finishing with the same amount of rounds you had scored at half is the one that really does hurt there, the defending side of Oregon. So it's definitely something you might be looking to work on here moving forward. But Cade, Valkyrie, Thatcher, and Jackal will be removed here today, and no Mira removed.
Yeah, Mira going to be let in here, but that you saw Fire Truck with his little sad face, because he's been basically playing exclusively Cade for the most part on defense. So going to have to go to the drawing board. He's not sad, he's angry now. You took away his operator. He's going to have to go back to the drawing board and find something else. But I'm going to start things off here, second floor trophy room, as the Saints are on defense this time by.
Saints on defense here, indeed, and I think this is the first time we actually do see the Saints start on defense.
Yeah.
Maps number 1, maps number 2, both starting on the offensive side of things, so now a little bit of a change of pace. Seeing them start on that defender side, and are you a fan of that, do you think? Or do you think you would rather see them start on attacking once again?
I'm a fan of whichever side gets you the lead first and able to just get you that momentum.
Yeah.
So if you think it's defense for this map, by all means, go for it. And of course, all the trust into Jambies and Cav/coach here to make sure that they get the proper one. Because technically for the third map, sides aren't picked. Loser gets the pick from game 2. So would rather be on the defensive side of things to get this started. Hopefully for the side of St. Clair, they can get themselves a nice little start. Get maybe 4, maybe 5 rounds would be absolutely fantastic to say the least. But if it's a 3-3 or something like that, or worse, I'd be very, very nervous going into the attacking rounds at halftime.
Yes, for sure, Darren. Villa, a map we don't see really on the regular for the Saints. It's one of those you were kind of talking a little bit during our break, that it's one of those maps you kind of see in a map 3 or map 5 or something. It's a lot of these R6 series, but doesn't actually come through, or it's just kind of left there and you don't actually see it come to light. But coming around this time here today, so I'm very anticipated to see how the Saints actually do perform on it, because personally, I don't even remember the last time I saw the Saints compete on Villa.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that map that's okay, we don't like this map, but we hate the other ones more, so I guess we'll let it be our map number 3. And one of the staples for the Saints over the past couple seasons have been Cafe, but a lot of teams do not like just constantly going top down for pretty much every single site and having specific routes that you have to have for that one. So it gets banned out pretty consistently, at least over the last half of the season or so. I've been seeing Villa just a little bit more, and First Blood has been drawn, and of course it's Simply Star. Basically got it a few times, I think, this series, and that makes it 2. Jambies goes down as well.
Stool picking up the momentum right from where he left off there in game number 2. I think he had 17 there in that one, and he's going to find his first here in this game number 3 as well. It is going to be a little tough for St. Clair now, down at a 2-player disadvantage, but they can definitely turn things around with the right opportunities. We'll see what they can do here right now. High on Drake and Co. looking to advance closer and closer to these bomb sites. You see SEC backing off a little bit, playing a more passive position, knowing they're down in a 3-on-5. So we'll see what they can do with it. If they can get an early pick, this round has definitely changed. And Kanger!
Attackers drop the defuse.
Have to see. Oh my gosh, he fouled 3!
Get away!
And he gets away.
C4
Oh, that C4 could be big. There's a player right to his right. That is going to be a double kill for Simply Star here now, and it's 2-on-3, and that is going to be Kinger getting read out like a book from Kion Drake. Shut down, now a 1-on-3 for Untold Warrior. He's behind this shield here now, looking to find a player.
Oh, no.
There's a drone to spawn him out, so now he's forced to move out of his position. Untold Warrior trying to find something. He'll run into one initially, but Simply Star will find the cleanup. Shots are on from Simply Star today, and that's a third in that round.
Oh, it smokes. Yeah, it was just unfortunately like toast. As soon as the drones fire feed, it's like, uh-oh. I got to run for the hills, but at the same time, they know exactly where you're going. So very solid first attack here for West Virginia, and the momentum that they are able to gain is just absolutely flying.
Yeah, for sure. Here it is going to be St. Clair trying to, regain here now. They're going to want a little bit more of an even scoreline going into this one at half here. I mean, I'd be a little bit concerned, honestly, right from the get-go, if West Virginia does find their second unanswered, right? I think just 2 rounds, knowing how this St. Clair Saints mentality works here with this roster, I really hope that their morale doesn't go steep down with them going just down by a measly 2-0, and I'm very concerned about that.
Yeah, part of me is worried that it's already at that state after the wave game 2 ended. And that's obviously like the worst position you could put yourself, to be a little bit down in notes. I mean, it's just been unfortunately like a group of losses here for the Nest in general. Call of Duty team was also playing in the Nest earlier today, and unfortunately they had a bit of a heartbreak for themselves in the CCL. So just the overall vibe in the Nest has been like a little bit frustrating, to say the least, over the last couple of minutes, maybe the last hour or so. So let's hope that we can turn this one around. What we need here is an Untold Warrior pop-off, basically, get the whole crew running.
Yeah, for sure. We need to see one of those players, those newer players that are coming in on this roster to actually get some momentum, build it up. Because believe it or not, those are the players that can almost build the most momentum for the returning players. When they see something they might not fully expect out of that player, it just gets them so fired up. And you saw from Spencer in Game 1, the momentum going into Game 2 is phenomenal. They found 3 rounds on offense, Oregon. They came in with a couple early round wins, and it all ran from there. You have to find your groove here, get it to the Saints, slow things down, and go back to how you were playing in game number 1. Slow, steady, and caution.
And then, to be honest, like Untold Warrior already has an elimination on the board. So he's already got the 1. Just keep on going from there. But we do see this next attack coming on through. In regards to operators, this has been pretty standard for the series in general as of this moment. Jam Beast back on his comfort pick, of course, the Maestro. Tried and true since the first time we've seen it in Saints Varsity. We pick it up and probably playing anchor on one of the sites here, as we see Mandrake do a little bit of a sneaky one, finds Rapid, and that is a brutal blow to the Saints.
Brutal blow there for sure, especially with JM Beast following shortly after. It is now all up to Untold Warrior, Salty Boy, and Kinger. Rapid's been struggling a little bit more here in these past 2 maps as well. I'm worried that momentum that we were just talking about moments ago has gotten to him as well. And they're just having a tough time getting back into a rhythm to turn things around. But we are on the perspective of Untold Warrior here, trying to see anybody who's going to approach over to this B site. Doesn't have to be the case as of yet, but it is West Virginia on the attacking side. They still have to advance towards St. Clair despite this being a 3-on-5.
Some early smokes coming out here from Salty Boy as well, and that just kind of says to me just like a little bit of panic. Like you hear footsteps, but you don't know exactly what's going on, so you don't know where anybody is. And you're just worried about like some sort of last-second breach. So we do see Stool picking up exactly where he left off, like I said before. Kinger goes down, so it's all up to the newcomers here to try and clutch out a 2v5. They're anchoring. They have some decent positions, but unfortunately, Fire Truck just has the absolute brutal devastation with that light machine gun. And unfortunately, there for the Saints, that is going to be an absolute cleanup here. Flawless round, I believe, here for the side of WV.
Oh, Dan, I'm worried, man. I think it's one of those times where I'm kind of looking at it and I see the Saints. I can see the morale go down and down and down, and I can see the panic go up and up and up kind of for these players right now, and it's definitely a scary sight here. I think the biggest thing is to just take a breather. Like, honestly, you are allowed to call these pauses here or whatever if you do need to have a quick, just deep breath, but just calm down for 30 seconds or so before hopping back into this one, because that's the one big thing here right now. You can see the morale here on these players. They're just trying to turn things around, so we'll see what they can do here in this one. I think this round 3 is honestly, brutally honest, is the make or break here for the Saints. If they're going to come through, they've got to at least get a good effort on this round if they don't win it.
Yeah, the team has gone up 2-0 like quickly so far in the series, and they've gotten back. I don't think a team has gone up 3 so far in this series, so we've not seen either team kind of get put in that position. And again, with defense for the most part being the more sought-after side, if this is the side that Saints are most comfortable with, then I too would be a little bit worried. But this could also very well be a case of, like, let's get our rough side out of the way first and try to end on our best, but that's such a risky way to do it if that's the case. So, like, as of right now, I do think just West Virginia's finding the better plays and slightly outplaying Saints so far here in Villa.
Yeah, this is, if you're right there, right, and they do want to get their, difficult side out of the way first, that is definitely scary to have to go through 6 rounds, not knowing what could happen in those 6 rounds. So, that being said, we are only 2 rounds through this, so still lots of play to happen in the first half with the Saints on the defense. I think they got to win at least 2 of them here to call this, an alright half and going into the second half. We're going to see the initial push from West Virginia, just droning out, trying to find that early intel and gather where these Saints are located. And I think the Saints just playing more and more passive almost after every round, just not wanting to, die off early in the round and lose it.
And a very common thing to do, like, when in doubt, just anchor position. Like, go to the spawn, or not the spawn, but the bomb site and just sit there. But, I mean, you do need anchors, don't get me wrong. But it depends on what everybody else is doing. I mean, Salty Boy's been basically a dedicated anchor so far here. Of course, being the smoke, that makes sense. Also, the Warrior as well. He's trying to get the most out of those Wamai discs, keeping himself safe as well. Interesting to see where JMB's ended up setting up this mirror to try and maybe make a play or something. Okay, there's a couple of them right here, pretty much right on the site. So, yeah, there's a lot of anchoring going down, a lot of passive play, like you said.
Yeah, JMB did spot someone's barrel, I do believe. Yeah, he's firing off some pop shots, but it's not actually going to end up connecting onto that player down there. We have Salty Boy up here, though, potentially getting swung momentarily. Now, this is going to be a really interesting peek once we do actually see it come through. And honestly, West Virginia is bound to get into an initial engagement here somewhere. With whatever they do decide to actually go and target, they're going to find it.
Yeah, this is going to eventually, I think, just turn into a bit of a last-second breach. Like, Finka charge up and just dive on through. Granted, have the perfect operation select to make that one happen, team comp specifically, but it still could very well be done. But you're trying to go in on some of these black mirrors, of course, one-way mirrors that the Saints could see out of, but not the opponents coming to it, which is extremely scary. But they've not left themselves much time, 45 seconds, and they're starting to go towards the site.
Starting to go towards the site for sure. Rapid is going to be one of the big players holding down a big doorway where a lot of these players are going to come through and enter. JMB's find one Untold Warrior, will get traded out though, 4-on-4. Duel down is a big one, and that is going to be Rapid finding Glow Seco shortly after. This is looking not too bad for the Saints. The setup is still looking very strong here as well. This is definitely their best opportunity they've had all along here so far. Rapid in a great position. He will not be able to find Simply Star, making those star plays. Once again, that is going to be a little bit of a heal coming through, and it is going to be Salty Boy down. That's another one down on JMB's. Kanger, 1v3. This is your time to keep the team alive. He will get a few shots in a Simply Star, but that is not going to be anywhere close to enough as he's going to get shot in the back here and cleaned up from Fire Truck's pistol. That is now going to be the side of West Virginia, leading 3-0. And honestly, I thought that one was looking very promising for the Saints, just not able to get the cleanup.
There's no patience right now here from the Saints. Like, you're on the defensive side. What don't you have to do to win a round? You don't have to frag out. You have time. Just hold your position. It's such a tough skill to basically to learn and like be completely content with. But it is okay to just hold your angle and just sit there. But we've seen with a couple of the Saints, they were swinging angles when no, you absolutely did not have to do that. Just let the timer do its thing. The diffuser was dropped at one point. Just hold that angle, and it just did not quite happen. Definitely a frustrating moment here for the side of St. Clair, as this is going to be a 3-point lead really early here into this round. Saints trying to get a little bit of some sort of scrape of hope here, and Rapid can try and pull out the cap can, hope that they try for a bit of a last-minute rush strategy again, and maybe not think about dealing with explosives.
Yeah, I mean, that's the one that I think was my make or break it round for the Saints here. Yes, there's still very strong possibility they come through, tie this one up, and make a strong push, but that was a round that was really the one that was going to be the turnaround round for them. I saw it, but it was not able to come through. So now another attempt to go here in round 4. It is going to be West Virginia guaranteeing themselves a minimum of a 3-3 half here on the attack, even if they lose out the next 3 in a row. So you're off to a fairly comfortable start here, West Virginia.
Yeah, any more wins go into West Virginia's round. I think that's basically toast. But at the same time, we have seen some insane comebacks here in Siege in the past couple of seasons here from our Saints. So never going to say die specifically, but just the probability. I mean, Jackson, I know you're a betting man. You probably wouldn't want to go on those odds.
You never know. You know, Kinger pop-off moment coming up right here. We'll see. But yeah, no, this is the odds are obviously stacked up against the Saints here right now. That's a given. It's just how can you use that as fire, you know, to like underneath you to really turn things around, and that's what we need to see from the Saints here right now. So we do see Stool making the entry in, gathering all that intel on the util, knowing where St. Clair is all set up and ready to go. It's going to be Kion Drake, one of the first players to clear through this whole initial inside area and actually take down all this util that was put through.
Yeah, and those are all the explosive traps coming out there as well. But Rapid does find an attack here onto Kion Drake there with the Nitro Cell. So a nice, quick takedown. And Kion's been probably the most consistent overall on the side of WV, maybe Stool as well, being labeled up there. But taking her down nice and quick was absolutely fantastic here for the Saints. Can they hang on to this one? The player advantage, of course, is absolutely clutch, but a good portion of util was destroyed, so it should make it a little bit easier for the rest of the WV squad to make their move.
Yeah, the WV squad definitely going to need to make their move here soon. The clock is now under a minute and a half. The Saints player advantage is really good. Trying to use their advantage. King are going to find another one, and Salty Boy also going to find one with the smoke. Simply Star going to fall. Now Stool and Glossico here to make the plays, and it's not going to be easy going against 5 players from the Saints.
Okay, low-key, these Capcan traps have just been baits for other utility to come and frag you out, because that's 2 Nitro Cells. That's a smoke kill as well. It's absolutely fantastic so far here from the Saints. Best possible opportunity to break this momentum loss streak here and swing this one back around. Maybe try to get a couple rounds here on defense, but stuff like that ain't going to quite do it. Unfortunately, Untold Warrior just losing a little bit of patience. Swings, gets taken down by Glossico, and same thing with JMB's beautiful shot, Glossico.
Glossico just opened this one up here for the side of WV. This is now Stool and Glossico only at a 1-player disadvantage rather than the, you know, 2 to 3 they were at just moments ago. King are now also getting tagged down to half HP and cleaned up with the headshot from Glossico. That's a 3rd for Glossico. And this one, the diffuser also going down. Rapid will find Glossico. Stool going for the peak. Rapid gonna fall. Salty Boy gonna try to make this play. Yes, it is.
Good smoke, actually.
Salty Boy spotted out the player in a little bit of a crack.
Just run.
Yeah, just run. There's no time for this diffuser to go down.
Well, the smoke's not in position.
Yeah, the smoke is not there, but he fakes it off. And Salty Boy will find the round win. That's exactly what you needed to close things through from the Saints. You can tell they were getting a little nervous there for a second, but Saints were able to clean it up regardless. Salty Boy has been so clutch here all day long. Definitely a good addition here to this roster. We'll see him stay around for quite a while, I assume. And it's going to be St. Clair now getting on the board. That's the tough part. Now move on. Get another.
Good thing they got that. Otherwise, that wasn't the momentum lost. That was the momentum shatter. Yeah. If that absolutely went south. So thank goodness there for the side of St. Clair. We needed that one. And now we got to try and run with this one for as long as possible, because it was such a rough time, to say the least there. It was such a rough spot for Salty Boy to actually find himself in, but yet clutched it up. Holy smokes.
I like this JMB switch off to the Capcan. I think it suits his playstyle well, and I think that he will be able to utilize it fairly strong as well for the Saints. So I'm excited to also know that that is a 6-pick, because you aren't going to have the side of WV knowing that Capcan is going to come through, allowing JMB to have a little bit more flexibility with it as well. But regardless, got on the board. Can you find a couple more? At a minimum, just you need to find one more this half.
Absolutely. Yeah, without question, like 4-2, well, I mean, it's way better than 5-1 or something worse like that. So hopefully they can keep running with this one. And at least here, like you're saying, with the Capcan allowing for some flexibility, even if those explosive charges don't end up doing any damage, just the fact that they have to shoot it out at least gives away a little bit of positioning. And just give yourself as much intel as possible, and it makes it really easy to try and make some plays after that.
Yeah, intel on the defense side is something that's a lot harder to gather than for these offensive players you see here from the side of WV, right? WV can come through, they have their drones. They can just fly them in, and, well, not fly them in, drive them in, and they can gather that intel they need. For St. Clair, we'll have to, like, bait out util, bait out shots, do little things to try to gather this util, as, you know, we will see the side of WV shoot out majority of St. Clair's cameras almost immediately.
Yeah, step one in the competitive, learn all the camera locations,
exactly.
right? So, like, nobody lets that slide unless you're just having an off day. But for the most part, yeah, step one, learn those camera locations. And this does make things a little bit difficult. So instead of having the vision, it's all about your utility, what is being taken down and such. So that'll give you that intel exactly like you're saying. King are actually going to be bringing an extra utility camera or the bulletproof camera. So it's apparent that, like, vision and information intel is basically exactly what they're going for.
Yeah, that's just exactly what they're going for, sure. I mean, because like the intel to gather on defense, it's just so difficult. I know I already just said it a moment ago, but it's I really want to reiterate it as Kinger will be finding one pick. He hasn't been on the board quite a bit. He is going to get traded out though for Kyan Drake, and Kyan Drake actually going to find Jam Beast as well. Jam Beast was needing to find that frag. He needed that refrag. It is all up to Rapid here. Now Rapid going to be sneaking behind all three of these players. If he can just keep moving with this swing, it'll work out very, very well for him. He's getting nice and slow here. He's going to run into one player, catching him completely off guard. Now, there's going to be two players far to his right. Salty Boy going to drop, though. It is all up to Rapid and Untold Warrior. 2 versus 3. How do you play this one through? Kyan Drake has been tagged down. You do see Untold Warrior finding some shots through, but not going to land. And it's going to leave Rapid now into this sticky situation. This diffuser will be getting planted here from Simple. Oh, and that is going to be going and blowing up, taking the planter. Now a 1 versus 2, and you do have Kyan Drake nice and weak. Kyan Drake also trying to put this fighter down. That's the non-weak player out. Kyan Drake being the diffuser. Pros, don't fake. And Rapid not able to shoot around the shield. Not able to find the pick, and that is going to come through for Kyan Drake, getting a triple, and WV will now extend their lead to 4-1.
An amazing 4K there for Kyan Drake. She absolutely clutched that round basically individually, and such a heartbreaker to see the utility of St. Clair, the positioning actually going against them, and that is another one of those like momentum shattering occasions, because Rapid was absolutely on fire, and we know, we've seen already, we've even seen in the player camera, like when he goes down, like visibly frustrated, if not angry. So he came into that one, he was doing so well, he was riding high, and then for it to get cut off like that, I hope it didn't break him, because that's a rough spot to be in.
Definitely is a rough spot to be in, and so is a 4-1 scoreline. It's a sticky spot to be in as well. So now, if you're the Saints, I mean, I'm saying this right here, this is a must-win. Going down 5-1 in Siege is just such an astronomical, you know, type of comeback that you have to pull off. So we will see what comes through, but you can definitely tell the morale is not as what it was when this map was starting and what it is now. Saints, though, going to be looking to find round 6, end up half on a high note, go into the attacking half, and do what they do best. Got to have a lot of flawless rounds here going forward to try to make this one theirs. We'll see what they can do. It is going to be the attacking phase getting started here in just a couple seconds.
Now, unfortunately, one of the operator picks that's been selected here for the Saints has kind of been synonymous with throwing, and that, of course, being Kinger's Warden right now. Warden in general, like, it's one of those gadgets that are just... It's so situational that it's useless. And basically, you bring Warden when you think they're bringing my Ying. And there is absolutely no flashbangs to be had. Or there is flashbangs from Hibana. But it's literally just the standard flashes from Hibana here. And you have to time putting on your glasses with the flashbangs. It's such a like niche thing to have to do that you don't really see a whole heck of a lot of Warden in competitive. So I'm wondering if this is Kinger just full sending, or if he has something specific in mind here. Maybe it's even the, like, comfort with the gun too. It's always something I gotta think about.
Yeah,
but like gadget-wise, this is weird.
Yeah, gadget-wise, it could be something that, you know, he may have a trick up his sleeve for, or has some sort of intel that we don't. So yeah, he's going to be trying to pull off that. And it is a little slow here, though, from the side of West Virginia here. It's still 5-on-5. We're about a minute through this one, a bit over a minute. Jam Beast will get knocked. He is still alive, though, so a res could come through if a player can actually approach him in time, but I'm not sure if he's in a great situation for that. You see he's kind of upstairs all alone. He's actually going to get rushed out and shot down from Glowseco, and now a 5-on-4. Untold Warrior, though, going to get a pick on the board once again, taking down Kion Drake, one of those actually really high fraggers right now from the side of WV.
The big problem with losing a Maestro so early, though, it means Maestro's the only one who can actually operate the gun portion of his turrets. So you cannot deny a plant with it in this scenario. That being said, though, Rapid going to try and make it that it's at least like not the situation you have to put yourself into. Glowseco going down. There goes your flashes. So that main thing that I was worried about is at least off the table, but so are your smokes. Some of that endgame denial is off the table.
Yeah, it's going to be Simply Star and Stool here in a 2-on-3 against Untold Warrior and Rapid. Here on round number 6, our final round of our first half, map number 3 here. Playoffs round number 1, CollegiateR6. There's a lot going on here. We've dissected a lot here over the past 2.5 hours or so. And it is going to be kind of coming to an end here right now as you 2 see St. Clair trying to close out this defensive half. They are going to desperately need this round. Time is ticking, though, for the side of West Virginia. I mean, 35 seconds is all that remains.
Yeah, this is a very, very tough spot for both of these teams, to be fair, to be in. We've seen some of the nerves kind of making some impatient plays here, and here's going to be first to bite, and there is no refrag. They got some damage down, but now 2-on-2. Nitro's self going to miss from Rapid, so the insta-kill possible. Or, excuse me, I'm just absolutely messing it up here, but we have Untold Warrior taking care of Simply Star. It's all up to Stool, which, to be fair, if there's one person you want on the team to do it, that's the person. But Rapid going to finish the job, bringing it right back. And that was a 2K for Untold. There we go.
Yeah, 2K for Untold for sure. That's one that you do need. Stool, though, didn't even have really the diffuser there in that situation.
That was a rough spot,
so,
yeah.
I mean, honestly, worst case, Saints just run away, and they do most likely come through the round when there as well. But good stuff. That's exactly what we said they needed. You know, I was saying, you know, if Saints can pick up a second, this makes this one extremely more winnable and actually puts yourself in a little bit stronger position. But, you know, obviously you'd prefer to be leading in the half or tied, but this isn't the worst case scenario you could be in. You've at least clawed yourself back since going down 2-0 early on. You've found, you know, 2-2.
Yeah, this is like not much different than the 3-3, of course, right? Literally just a 1-round difference. So you're feeling at least a little bit comfortable. This would be interesting here. Salty Boy going to make the switch to the Twitch, opting to try and get as much utility kills as possible there with those Twitch drones. We'll have to see momentarily how valuable that does actually end up being, because there are a lot of pieces of utility that can get shot down from this. Between, like, looking at the lineup here for this side of WV, the only one who really doesn't bring any sort of utility is actually none of them. That Twitch drone could absolutely kill anything that these operators can drop down. So one way or another, as long as Salty Boy can bring the Twitch drone in a good position and not get it shot out right away, has a chance at getting a ton of utility killed.
Yeah, utility is something to really pay attention to here now. I like Rapid on the sledge to really kind of open up this map and provide the Saints these angles that they might not be able to have as easy otherwise. Other than that, we will see the plays come through from the Saints. JMD is going to be here on the defuse carry. He's been one of those players, you know, that we've seen on that, you know, for the last 2 seasons or whatnot. And we saw it on Salty Boy earlier today for the first little bit, but it's quickly got switched over back to Jam Beast, and since then I think it's worked out actually still fairly well. It just all comes down to Jam Beast, you know, staying alive and being able to get that diffuser down at the end of the round.
And one of the things too so far, like Kinger's doing solid, but he's not been having the kind of rounds like the last couple of games we saw. Do you happen to have a rage potion in store or something? So we need to juice him up real quick, because just having himself a bit of a slower one than we're used to here. Yeah, 4 eliminations not bad still, but when the team's relying on you for eliminations, it's a little bit of a slow start.
This nade could be big. I like the cook.
Nice.
He's going to bounce around, so we'll do a bit of damage, peppering him down ever so slightly. He's going to fall off now a little bit. Another nade sent through, not going to do the damage he was looking for. He knows where this player has backed off to now, though. That gets the intel for Kinger. Kinger's going for the swing here. Now knows the player has pushed back even further. Kinger going to run into one, finds the first. He's not going to be able to sneak away. He's got to get the trade to his right. Not able to find it. Does Rapid get the swing off? No, doesn't look to be the case now. It is going to be Rapid looking to potentially find Kion Pepper here now. Kion Pepper. What was I saying? Kion Drake. That got a little too fast here for a second, but no, 4-on-4. Kion Drake gonna try to get an engagement here now.
I mean, it could be a Kion Pepper. She's absolutely on fire with that scoreline right now. 8 eliminations leading the team so far on this West Virginia side. So, like, with it being a 4-on-4, she's playing absolutely fantastic. Still has all the smokes as well. Just stay safe, and this is going to be a hard section for the Saints to eventually have to breach through 3 smokes.
Yeah, still is 4-on-4. You know, having Kinger, he's one of those players who isn't really scared to go in first, and to not have him in your lineup is something that could be a problem for when it actually does come down to breaking into this bomb site. You're going to need to send one of these other players in here, and Salty Boy, you're going to have the diffuser here now rather than JMB, so we might see JMB and Rapid be, you know, 2 of the players trying to do that. Rapid wasn't able to get that player on the exit. Kion Drake going to find another. Saints are at a player disadvantage here now.
She's been covering all these angles. Finally getting shut down here. JMB is going to find his second elimination of the game, but is going to be traded out, it looks like, as Fire Truck's going to come rolling through and take care of him. So we have a 2-on-3. Our newcomers joining the squad here going to have to clutch up this 7th round to try and bring this to a 3-4 scoreline. Otherwise, yeah, we're just basically knocking on the door of match point. Salty Boy in the doorway. Untold Warrior does have one more Nomad charge. It's going to be clutch if someone tries to flank them, but we do see Salty Boy getting peppered down a little bit. Back and forth through the smoke, but Untold Warrior goes down. Salty Boy running on through, but it is no dice this time by. There was nothing the Saints could do there. Absolutely locked down. Beautiful play from West Virginia.
An A for effort, but it was just not enough. Close but no cigar, and it's going to be the Saints trailing by 3 here now, 5-2, and another must-win case scenario. Like, I feel like you can't allow a 4-round differential between these two teams. That's something you just can't allow. And it's just going to be a must-win every time you see West Virginia leading by 3. So, once again, my personal opinion, St. Clair needing to find this round here, or else they're going to be in very hot water, where West Virginia will be at match point and guaranteed a minimum of overtime.
I mean, with both of these games, right, it would go up to basically 3-3, like with no more than a 2-game gap. Then all of a sudden the team that wins just shoots like all the way to 7. And right now, I'm not sure if the Saints are going to be able to even make it to that 3 mark. We're obviously damn well going to try our best here, but the momentum, of course, like I've been saying all series long, has just not necessarily been in their favor here. They're trying different compositions to try and like make it work, but you can tell that I guess it just feels like the side of WV is just that much more calm, and they've been able to make a few more calculated decisions while the Saints are panicking.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing, too, when it comes with, like, we talked about both these teams having a lot of roster changes. See, with us being from St. Clair, we know kind of the ins and outs of what happened with the Saints roster,
Yeah, of course,
etc., etc. But with West Virginia, we're kind of a little bit more in the dark, right? So we don't really know kind of what exactly happened. They could have a little bit more chemistry than the current roster we have, and that is what really does help with being awesome collected. That's also been one of the bigger problems we've had with the Siege roster, and as a whole, always, is just, you know, being able to stay calm. It's a really difficult thing for them, you know. Now with all this roster changes, being able to stay calm might be even more difficult, and they're going to try to, you know, see if they can fix that here in the last minutes of this game. But it's getting down to a point where, you know, there's no turning back.
Well, it's a stressful game of pixels, right? It's extremely stressful, extremely anxiety-inducing. There's a reason why I personally love the game, but I don't play it because I just can't handle it sometimes. It scares you, to be completely honest, with it being such, like, anything could just be turned on an absolute dime, and then when the pressure's on you, you have to play basically perfectly. I mean, it's thrilling when it works, but when it doesn't, it just hurts. So we'll have to see. Attack now underway here. Saints going to try to keep this away from match point. But with Blasiko and the Mira up on the top there, that is going to be a rough area to try to breach in once again.
Yeah, so here we are now. It is Salty Boy trying to find something random here as well. And Rapid going to come down. JMB's actually will find the first one there. And that is going to be onto Stool. And that's a big pick. You know, taking out Stool, we talked about it so much, but JMB's will get traded up from Kion Drake. Kion Drake is another one of those players that you have to worry about if you're St. Clair right now. Honestly, if you're St. Clair, you have to worry about all 4 of these players. All 4 of these players have been able to pop off at any moment. Kinger doing a nice pick, finding Kion Drake.
Okay, that's a start. Gonna bring this down to at least a much more winnable level. Having the player advantage ever so slightly right now. Do have one more Finka charge as well for a little bit of extra bonus healing if the time does call for it. And there's no smoke on the board, so you don't have to really worry about that as we get down to about the last minute of play or so. As per usual, Untold Warrior hanging on to all of the flanks. They're on that Nomad, charging on through. Rapid's going to find one. Kinger looking for another, but it's not going to end up being the case right here. Fire Truck on the defense alongside Glowseco to try and clutch this one up. Otherwise, Saints might have finally stopped the loss streak here and might get to round number 3.
Yo, they just need to find these two final players, being Glowseco and Fire Truck. You know, just play it safe, play it, lock it down. Kinger,
Nice shot.
Nice little piece of util. He will get knocked, though. He is still going to have his life to his game, but Rapid will find the cleanup, and the Saints will get a round on the board. That's exactly what they needed. Now, a 5-3 score line, something that you can work with here a little bit more. You know, if you win, you know, a couple more rounds in a row, you can guarantee yourself a minimum of forced overtime or whatnot. But it's really nice for the Saints here that you don't have West Virginia on that match point yet. You know, St. Clair can still win this one in regulation, which is the big thing here.
Absolutely. This can still be turned around. And if their attacks just happens to be better, maybe it was a situation where maybe they just wanted their better half for last. That's a very risky way to play, of course, like I mentioned before, but very well could be the case here. I did like the idea of maybe making a 6-pick over to some additional hard breach going into the second floor site, and maybe just open up a couple more holes to try and like pick some different pathways into the zone. Will definitely be valuable. However, of course, a wall with a hole through it is the friend of both players, to say the least, or both teams, so have to very well keep in mind about that.
For sure. It is going to be Rapid here leading the charge for the Saints in this one. We're going to see him lead the charge once again in this round, followed up by Kinger and company there for the side of the Saints. We look over to the side of West Virginia. Right now, it's been Cayenne, Drake, and Simply Star just absolutely putting on a show here for us. And honestly, all the other players in the lobby as well, still doing all of the work necessary and providing very good content. I mean, we've got a very good series all night long. You know, arguably, it is getting near 12:30 a.m. at this point, and we are getting longer and longer tonight, so energy might be slowly dwindling down from a lot of these players, but we are still very engaged here, and it is going to be St. Clair still trying to bounce back and, you know, keep their lives in playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going absolutely all the way here for this one. Could very well see overtime if the Saints do manage to turn this one around. Honestly, the real MVPs is everybody in the chat and everyone actually tuning in. Because, yeah, I know it's real gamer hours right now. Thank you for spending it with us here on Saints Gaming CA channel, to say the least. But now, of course, attack underway. Only 30 seconds down. Still got plenty of time for Saints to try and make a move here. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're going to try and keep basically the same composition and just look for some utility for Salty Boy to probably take care of so that they can charge in later.
Yeah, and we're still in this 5-on-5. St. Clair has definitely opted to play this one a little slow here. They actually haven't even made their way in any really of the hallways yet until JMP is approached up there now. It is followed up by Salty Boy and company as well. JMP still trying to hold off this initial doorway. They do have a drone to gather some intel. The drone will go in here nice and early, getting quickly shot at though, and now St. Clair with only a minute 45 on the clock. We're going to have to see an entry come up here sooner than later.
Just looking at some of the players' faces, I'm not sure if this is the face of anger or the face of exhaustion, because of course that's another one of the things that does make things very difficult as we see Glowseco taking care of JMBs. But for our time zone, when we of course have to start these games at 9:30, everybody else is probably like 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock by the time they get started. So a very, very rough spot for the Saints to kind of constantly be in. But that being said, they're used to this at this point with how the CollegiateR6 has been. But you can tell maybe a little bit of wear and tear coming on them as later this game goes.
Yeah, later this game goes, there's definitely more and more that comes onto the line here. It is JMP still the only one who has fallen, and now with only 65 seconds on the clock, I mean, time has got to be coming of the essence here for the Saints. They're on the attack. They have to get this diffuser down. Kinger does a great job finding the open pick, but they have to get that diffuser still. They do not have anybody with that in hand, so this 4-on-4 is going to be nice to have the numbers even up, but what can you do otherwise? Let's find out. Rapid going to be trying to find an entry frag here. Now, no one going to be behind the shield, but right around the corner, there is going to be somebody home. Untold Warrior looking for something on the other side. Kinger will get knocked down now in a 4-on-3. Can he get revived? No, not going to be the case. Simply Star able to find the cleanup on that one as well. Glowseco going to find Salty Boy. Now Untold Warrior and Rapid just trying to stop West Virginia from getting match point. That is going to be Rapid finding the first one there. 2 versus 3 now.
This is such a stressful position. Untold Warrior's not used to being the planter. You're going to have to be the one not flank watching, but diving in. Rapid's trying his damnedest to clean the path here for Untold Warrior, and he's doing a fantastic job. Triple kill so far here for Rapid. They have to deal with one more. They see the rear end, takes care of it. Untold Warrior going to finish off Fire Truck, and the Saints are back in this game.
You can see how stressed Untold Warrior is right now in all of these plays, but he's keeping up. He's keeping up. I mean, he's keeping his hat in the ring. He's doing his job, and he is able to find these cleanup plays when needed. Dan, this score line is a lot different from what we saw a few moments ago. Back-to-back rounds will greatly benefit the Saints. One more, and we got a game right back on our hands. Clean slate, 5-5.
Okay, I know I mentioned the Rage Potion earlier, but did everyone just like get an IRL Finka shot or something? Because everyone now, like the energy just completely changed. I know it changed here in the casting room. I can only imagine now with that one in the nest itself. But everybody back on their feet, to bring in this within striking distance. One more round like this, they could absolutely tie the game. But still, West Virginia still on the doorstep of it being match point, so you can't let off the gas now.
Yeah, I mean, you let off the gas now, you are not going to be able to touch the gas again here in this series.
You just break the pedal.
Yeah, exactly, right? So, we'll see. But Clair, it looks like their attacking side looking a little stronger. They have already attacked this point already, I do believe. Maybe not. I believe they have, though. So, we'll see what they can do with it. And it is going to be their second time actually attacking this one. I'm not sure if they were able to win the first one there, but we're going to see it now. Part 2. Saints are going to try to clean this one up.
Yeah, so I believe, if I recall correctly, West Virginia were able to clean up pretty quickly here on this point last time by. So hopefully for the Saints this time, can take some of that momentum they just got and play it ever so slightly differently. I mean, they're keeping the same lineups here, and a lot was relied onto Rapid on that last round. Hopefully a little bit of stress can be relieved off his shoulders with some other players. Find a couple frags.
Yeah, we're going to start off with Kinger here in this round, trying to potentially get aggressive. I like the play. I like how, you know, usually when you see St. Clair get a couple rounds in a row, you're not going to expect Kinger to come in so aggressive. Like, you're going to expect a continuation of the passive play, the nervous kind of play style. But no, Kinger is ready to go. He's going to already get some intel, and Rapid's already pretty far in as well, you know, despite being on the roof. Untold Warrior right behind him as well. I mean, I like this setup initially for St. Clair. It looks like they're ready to just dive. Absolutely,
and with Kinger being on the Iana this time by, you could basically become a human drone and make a clone of herself and dive on in. So just having that extra little bit of utility for like information and vision purposes is going to make it just that much better. Because we know if Kinger knows where they are, like he's a headhunter, he finds the shots necessary. It's always whenever he gets flanked or gets caught out of position on a refrag, that's usually when he goes down. So if he can find himself in that awesome position and get as much intel as he needs, can absolutely pop off here in this round. And considering he was at 4 limbs earlier, back at 8, I think he's feeling it now.
Yeah, I agree. And I really do like Rapid positioning here. He's starting to get a little bit more aggressive up here. The name didn't quite work out as it did get EMP'd away.
Yeah.
And it is now going to be him trying to, you know, use his weapon as a deadly choice here and getting close and take this close engagement gunfight. I don't completely disagree, but it's a risky move here right now. Rapid is going to potentially take that risk, and we see it here on the shield, and he finds one. Okay, 1 for 1, not the end of the world, but do you really want your top fragger who's 14 and 7 going 1 for 1? I'm not sure. Kinger does follow it up with a pick, though, and that is now going to be a 4-on-3, so it all is not lost.
I mean, losing your top fragger might be rough, but if your second in command is ready to pick up the slack, then I mean, A-okay from there. No harm, no foul. Salty Boy got to get himself on the board. There's another one for Kinger as well. It's all down to Stool, which, to be fair, has clutched out rounds in the past, and he's going to start things off with Untold Warrior.
Yeah, and he also is going to get shot down, though, from Salty Boy. Jesus, the Saints have tied it up from down 5-2. Now a 5-5 scoreline, getting ready for round number 11. Dan, this is anybody's game here now. Let me break this down for you. You split the rounds 1-1. We see an overtime. One team wins 2, and that team will clean it up. And the other team loses 2, I mean, obviously you will be falling there. But if you win 2 in a row, you win. You split them, you go to OT. If you lose both, you're going home.
And the best position right now here, like, it seems like attacking has been the way to go, essentially, for both sides. If Saints can just win out, they stay on the attacking side. If we have to go into overtime, if I recall correctly, think it's West Virginia that attacks first,
Yeah,
which
Saints
means they
defense
get
first.
2.
Yeah.
And that is brutal. This cannot go to overtime for Saints to win this, I think.
All right, that's a bold call there, Dan, and I'm going to stick with it here for you. So the Saints...
I'd love to be wrong. Let's see
Yeah,
it.
the Saints have already won 3 unanswered. Can they do it 2 more times? That was the site that they got kind of stopped on before. So now for them to move on to 2 sites that they have actually already kind of looks like they've gotten progress on and actually have been able to secure a round on, this might be a little bit more of a doable round here. So round number 11, 5-5 score line, 1-1 series score line. It's nearly 1 a.m. It doesn't get closer than this. This is esports.
This is real gamer hours, and this is real esports, right? But again, a big thank you to everybody for tuning in. This ended up being quite the treat now. Definitely worth it for everyone sticking around here. Now, Simply Star, going to be picking up the cap can. I wonder if they may be kind of thinking about some of the things that the Saints were trying to do. Maybe they find that they're losing track of vision, losing track of some information, and need to use those explosives to maybe gather a little bit more. They've been getting caught off guard a lot more often in these last couple of rounds. Maybe that'll help turn the tides.
Turn the tides indeed. I mean, CollegiateR6 started off very hot and has been almost stonewalled the past 2 rounds, and that is what's so big for the Saints here and also finding success in these rounds. You've also seen a lot of clutch plays come through from Untold Warrior and Salty Boy Jesus here coming in lately to also hold their own weight and, you know, find these round wins themselves. So really happy from everybody and everything that I'm seeing from the Saints as of lately. Let's see if they can carry on through here with their continuous attacking rounds. It's been a bunch of success on attack so far. I think they have the better chance of getting 2 in a row here.
Absolutely, of course. As long as they can stay on this attacking side, I still have faith. And with a grenade like that, that's one way to start it. So the cap can's down. Did he get all of his explosive traps down? That's what I'm curious about. Because if you do end up making this attack a bit of a last-second thing, you're not going to be thinking about checking those door frames. But if you can eliminate everybody, who cares? Kinger, double.
Another nade kill, maybe? That's the third Kinger! Opens with the triple! This is exactly what I needed to see. The Nest has got to be going hype. And that is exactly the start now of 5-on-2. Making a quad kill for Kinger. He is going hunting. As he spotted out CollegiateR6 there, Salty Boy will fall down here. Now Kinger, I know he wants it there. He is going to find it out. Kinger has tagged down to 1 HP, but will sneak away with his life here. You don't want to get too greedy for this ace. You don't want to, have to play like that. But Kinger has tagged him down to 1 HP. Untold Warrior for the cleanup. Kinger! What a play! What a play! The Saints have taken your lead 6-5.
And then Untold Warrior just shuts down any sort of possibility of a miraculous comeback. Gets absolutely knocked down on his rear. That air jab, right in the perfect position. Side, sealed, delivered. Match point. Can we see it?
Oh my goodness, just a few rounds ago, this was a 5-2 scoreline that we were looking at. Kinger says nades go burr. And so here we go. It is either all up to West Virginia to force an OT. West Virginia can't even close this one out in regulation anymore. This is an OT game or a Saints win at this point in time. Let's find out what happens here in just a few seconds. This is getting stressful. I mean, honestly, I feel for Untold Warrior and Salty Boy right now. Like, this is gotta be the most nerve-wracking situation they have been in probably their whole esports career.
Not only their whole esports career, it's literally just getting started for them, right? I mean, they're both students of the esports program, getting picked up onto the R6 squad after, of course, an absolute turmoil of events for the Saints roster. And now they are absolutely clutching things up, keeping up with the coach, keeping up with the big boys as well. And they are absolutely, like, standing out right here on Villa, right when they needed it to happen. That being said, though, as much as I'm excited for the Saints right now, I still don't think that they can take this in overtime. I need to see it sealed right here, right now, or else I'm still scared.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. This is a Kinger and Rapid world, and we're all just living in it here right now. Let's see if Kinger can do what he was just doing a moment ago once again here in this 5-on-5. The attacking phase has begun, and we are getting this one underway. West Virginia going to need this one to force an OT. Saints going to need this one to find the series win and advance to round 2 of CollegiateR6 playoffs. It all comes down to this, folks. This is what we've been waiting for.
Absolutely. So stressful here. And you can see Saints taking their time even getting into the building. Nobody rushing right now. It's still just the first 30 seconds. But we take a look at the side here, and that's not what you want to see. Beautifully done there from Stool, shutting Kinger down instantaneously. Not even getting the opportunity to use the Iana clone. So not only is he shut down, but he's shut down without a clue for the rest of the Saints.
Yeah, I mean, it's not until it has been gathered from that. You do get a little bit of damage there on the fire truck, but not enough that you would like. Kinger was that big player that needed to go in there and find those entries and wasn't able to clean them up here on match point. So we'll see if things can change moving forwards. We do see a little bit of intel going to get gathered here from Salty Boy. He runs into one player, but Drone quickly shut down shortly after. This is still very winnable, but I think we're going to have to see a big play from Rapid.
Absolutely. He's going to be a lot on his shoulders, and I think he knows that, and that's exactly what you do not want to see. Right now, Stool has been absolutely on point here, and this puts so much pressure on the JMBs, who still has a diffuser at least. Untold Warrior and Salty Boy, though, like we were saying, hey, welcome to the collegiate esports scene. This round relies on you guys.
Yeah, welcome to the big leagues. Throw your rate into this.
How do you like playoffs?
Yeah. Honestly, so here we are. This is a 3-on-5. JMB has been peppered down to about half HP. Now, this is going to be very, very difficult. They do spot out one. JMB is going to fall. That is now going to leave Untold Warrior and Salty Boy to grab the diffuser, advance, and move on here with it. They do get some damage done, but regardless, I mean, this is going to be very, very, very difficult to pull off. If they do it, though, I mean, it would be forever talked about around here.
Oh, there is still a chance, though. If you look at some of the health bars here on the side of WV, they are wounded, like half health for like at least 2, or almost half health, and then Stool's been pretty hurt as well. In theory, in a one-on-one, it could work unless you just mow them down. Beautifully done there from Glosigo and Fire Truck to absolutely hold those angles, and they really clutched up there. We are going to have overtime. 1st to 8 now will not only take the game, but will take these playoff series.
Reminder, 1st by 8 must win by 2 here, I believe it is. Or
Nope.
No?
It's just 1st to 8. This is why I'm so scared that the Saints are actually on the attacking side. Hang on a minute.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, this changes a lot. I swear they picked defense going into this one, so this changes quite
I am a bot.
bit. All right, this puts the St. Clair right back onto attack. I mean, this changes a lot here. They did just get flawless on their attack. It could hurt the momentum a little bit, but they're still fired up from those first couple rounds ago. So now the Saints are trying to turn things around here. It is going to be overtime. 1st to 8. Doesn't matter who gets there first. It is whoever happens, right? Or it doesn't matter who gets there first, I guess, because first one there. But
yeah, there's no like first to win by 2 rounds. It's not like your traditional FPS is like Counter-Strike or Valorant or anything along those lines. It's just 1st to 8, which is why side selection is so stressful and so necessary, and can sometimes inadvertently help you win the game in the long run right before you even start the game. Just every little bit. I know, like in games like League of Legends, for example, we say like games can be won or lost in champ select. For the Saints here in this position, did their overtime pick possibly put them in the position to have the advantage here in this game?
Yeah, we'll find out here in just a few seconds, as this is going to be round number 1 of overtime. Map number 3, series point here for both teams, as both teams are going to try to claw through in this one and advance the round to a playoffs. It does literally not get closer than this. I mean, what a way to get back into R6 here for this semester. I'm so excited now for the remainder of the season after watching this matchup here today. It is going to have a lot of pressure on the Saints here in this round to see what they can do. It is going to be Salty Boy already up here on the balcony, potentially going for some early peaks. I think we're really going to see Kinger potentially slow things down here once again as well in this round.
They absolutely need to, because like we've seen before, like Kinger diving in relatively quickly, and then if they're holding their windows, you don't see it, and you just kind of mess yourself over. That being said, though, Kinger is inside and already going to be trying some grenade shenanigans. To be fair, though, that was a good call out by one of the support players. Grenade not quite going to find its mark, but very, very close.
I thought that nade was right on. I always overestimate nades. Every FPS title, always overestimating nades. But here we are, 2 minutes on the clock. So we've already had about a third of the time burnt off. It is going to be Untold Warrior, the first one to fall. Now the Saints playing at a player disadvantage. Let's see how they can bounce back from this. You do still have Kinger and Rapid to make these big plays from the interior side. It is going to be Salty Boy also breaking some exterior angles to try to just find an opening pick. And that's the big thing right now. That is something that you are not seeing West Virginia give to St. Clair right now. An opening pick, an opening attack. They're playing very conservative, very slow, and it is winning them these rounds.
With Untold Warrior going down, that means probably at least 2 or 3 of those air jabs were not used. Flanks could be exposed. If if Untold Warrior was like that was his main role of like trying to do, the Saints may overlook this as they decide to pressure on through. Smoke grenade is going to be coming through, but no one's going to really commit, at least as of yet, it would seem. A little bit of damage down to Fire Truck. These grenades are hitting, but they're not getting any like serious damage. Kinger spots the helmet, but not quite going to find it. Has the right idea, but it's not going to hit its mark.
Yeah, it's always so tough when you go back and watch the VOD. See, you had the right idea, but just not hitting that mark there like you were just saying a moment ago. This 4-on-5, they're still trying to work around it, but that's not going to be a good start. That is brutal. Getting killed out there. Rapid going to fall. Untold Warrior down. JMB's down as well. Kinger to turn things around. He will find one, but not able to find more. That is going to be the first round going over to the side of West Virginia Wesley here now. It is going to be a 7-6 advantage for them and only needing one more round. The Saints will have to win 2 in a row if they want to advance to round 2 of playoffs.
Gosh, they must be playing scare. Regardless of how this ends up results-wise, I'm still proud of all of these players, to say the least, because this one looked absolutely lost, to say the least, back when it was like 4-1. But they brought it up to this point here, and especially given the experience level of some of our newcomers, and then the veterans to be able to guide them over this past couple months or so in practices and then in scrims and everything like that, to get them to this point is absolutely phenomenal nonetheless. And we might see a first-time pick here for this entire series, the Thunderbird, with some resurrection capabilities and some healing capabilities here. Might be looking to lock it down and anchor.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you for that one as well, because Untold Warrior and Salty Boy came in here, you know, with that little bit of experience coming in here, you know, almost as rookies, kind of new to the whole scene. So for them to be doing what they're doing right now, I've got to say, pretty proud of them to come through here and at least put up some solid numbers around these other players on the team. So that is something that we do like to see. Now, can you do it again here in this match point round? It is going to be West Virginia sitting there up 7-6. I mean, St. Clair win this one, you got a clean slate. It essentially all comes down to one round after that. St. Clair can find this one.
Now, actually, the polar opposite could be true here. If you have healing, I mean, this is why we see Doc a lot, or in solo queue. If you have healing, why not do a run out? What is Kinger thinking is what I'm curious about here. Is he thinking about some sort of run out or some sort of window peek, spawn peek of some sort? Or he's just going to sit back. He is juiced up in healing gadget as of right now, but not making a move as of yet.
Yeah, it does look like he is playing a pretty close and aggressive angle still, regardless of peeking or not. So that is going to be definitely something to keep an eye on going forwards here. And Fire Truck looking like if he wants to break in, he will do so. Doesn't look like any early engagements will come through for him. I mean, Glow Seco and this player right to the right is definitely going to be my biggest focus of attention for right now.
Yeah, Simply Star there on the 0 as well as Stool. Got a little bit of a death ball kind of going through here in this this one, and Stool going to be able to find any gadgets moving forward as well. Kinger with the shutdown though. That's one hard breacher down, but they still have Cayenne Drake that can still fill the same role. So they're not completely denied in regards to hard breaching as of yet. That does throw a wrench into the plans though. Going to slow things down even more so, but there is still like a minute 45 left in this game. Still plenty of time to turn this one around.
Kinger got fairly pushed up this hallway, so I mean, he is in a decently aggressive angle. Now falling back off to play with his team a little bit more. I do agree with this play a little bit, but honestly, I think West Virginia doesn't expect Kinger to get aggressive here, like at all. I think it would completely blindside them, but it's just such a risk that at this point in the game, are you willing to take? That's a big question. JMB's gonna have intel on a player though, I believe. Yeah. And so that's going to get a lot of intel. He's just going to consistently put these pings. He just got intel to all 3 were there, actually. So that's 3 to 4 players with intel now. Untold Warrior tagged down, but still going to keep his life.
Yeah, that's massive intel there between JMB's and Untold Warrior. They know where the death ball is rolling through. And if they can get them into position to cut this off, that's absolutely fantastic. Kinger. But if they trickle in one-on-one or one individually after another, they are going to be so screwed. But Kinger takes care of Kaya Drake. The hard breach is down, and so is the Faker!
Kinger, you are a madman! Go on, kill Kinger! You are blowing my mind right now. 1 kill off the 20 bomb, already on a 4K, all up to Stool. Dan,
this is still
I'm
scary.
lost.
I'm still scared, honestly enough. I know it's just Stool, but it is Stool. He's been absolutely fantastic in Game 2, and now into Game 3. Kinger, Ace gets shut down. Not going to be here, but still 4 Saints on the board. No diffuser in hand. Has to play by fragging. Taken down by Salty Boy.
And now we went from a best of 3 down to a best of 1, down to a best of 1 round. Here we are, 7-7. All the marbles on the table. Your Saints on the attack, West Virginia on the defense. It does not get closer than this, folks. Map 3, 7-7. Dan, I am losing it. Thank God we're already standing today.
Oh, absolutely. We would have flung the chairs all the way into the backdrop at this point with the way this game has been going. But I guess switching to standing has just been a much better one for the sake of all the equipment here in our broadcast classroom. But now we get to go on to the attacking side, which throughout the regular session has been successful for the most part. Overtime, it did not work. And I don't know if I like a 4 Glory 6 pick. But if this works, Kinger is going to be a legend.
Trying to make a highlight reel right now out of this game. 2 4Ks in this game he has right now. Both were to keep the Saints alive. So big things going on here from Kinger right now.
I can't believe this.
And I can't believe we're in this position. 5-2, I was like, damn, you know, it was tough. St. Clair, you know, they're still in this one, but it's really, really tough here right now. I wasn't expecting to see myself in a situation like this. 7-7. Here we go. Can the Saints advance to round 2 of CollegiateR6 playoffs?
Kinger's pick here with the Nook. So this is basically the vigil, but for attack. You can put your gadget on, basically, and while you're walking, silent footsteps, I do believe. Plus, you do not get exposed by cameras. So if you're a little bit slow killing off the camera or whatever, and you think, oh, okay, this hallway's clear. No, the Nook could absolutely be right there. So relying on such a 4 Glory pick on the overtime match point of your possibly whole playoff season, I am excited and terrified at the exact same time.
Now, I think the defense has been a little more favored in overtime. Like, and as of lately. So, I don't know. I'm a little concerned. I think the Saints will be a little bit more comfortable on overtime here in defense. Kinger already getting tagged down a little bit early. It should be all right here for him, however. We will see as it does move forward. Now, still this 5-on-5. But 40 seconds have been burned off the clock already. I mean, the nerves have just got to be unreal here from the Saints right now. We'll see if they can pull this one through. All it comes down to is an initial pick. And it's going to be Jam Beast looking for that. The drones are in. They're gathering the intel. Second by second. Jam Beast is the first one in here. He is going to get a little bit of intel shot on him. Forced to take down that piece of util. It's still there, actually. He wasn't able to connect on that shot.
Yep, the Maestro shield stopped firing and shielded itself, so it cannot be blown away by just gunfire. You have to grenade it. So they are going to end up doing so right here. But it's leaving you exposed by actually the other turret here. And Kinger, for relying on being stealthy, has been tagged down so much that's going to make any play he makes absolutely all in.
Yeah. And I mean, that's Kinger right there. All in or nothing. So we will see right here. But I mean, you can tell they're nervous. Like, they're just playing it slower and more precise. It is going to be Kinger, the first one to lose his life. He's out of this series. He's out of this round 1 playoff matchup. Here we go. Fire truck pinned up in the corner. Is going to get shot down from JM Beast's pistol. This diffuser is going down from JM Beast. This is exactly what they needed. The stick is pros don't fake.
Here we go.
And it comes down. Salty Boy is going to get tagged. Rapid finds the first. JM is traded. Rapid finds another. Can he get the cleanup? No. He has the player tag. Salty Boy and Rapid. 2 versus 3.
Nice.
There it is. Salty Boy going to get the diffuser. Rapid
all up to Salty Boy.
Salty Boy 1v2. And no, not able to find it. West Virginia Wesley will be headed to round 2 of playoffs, but a tough effort there from the Saints, and a great try there, as it is going to be the side of University of West Virginia. Wesley gonna find that one. Wow, what a game, GG's all around. I mean, wow, I'm crazy on my feet here right now.
Absolutely, like, big props to West Virginia. They absolutely pulled it in at the end. After losing so many rounds in a row, it's very easy for it to just get absolutely flipped on its lid. But they came in clutch at the end, and oddly enough, it seems like the defense, after struggling during the non-overtime rounds, came in clutch in the end. I guess when it all comes down to it, being able to sit, or not necessarily sit, but being able to set up ahead of time, and then wait the nerves out a little bit. puts the attackers in a little bit more of a stressful
Yeah, like I
situation.
feel like attacking in a 7-7 situation isn't where I'd want to be. I'd rather if I had to choose in a 7-7 situation, if I wanted to attack or if I wanted to defend, I'm taking defend all day because you don't have to make the bold calls then. Like I mean, it's so hard when you have those nerves built up in you. I feel like it's like jumping off like the edge of like a rock or something, right? Like you have those nerves built up in you, like you're just hesitating, and at the end of the day, it does hurt those attacking rounds. I think that is one of the problems the Saints come through. But regardless, well fought. I gotta give props all around. That was the most entertaining R6 match I've watched in my entire life. Like I gotta tell you that right now. Most entire match, I'm very excited that I was able to hop on the mic for this one. And congratulations to West Virginia. I'm excited to see how you guys do play in the next round of playoffs. As for the Saints, huge props to you guys coming through with a roster tonight, fielding a roster, and then actually competing to the full capabilities here. I'm really proud of you guys as well. So glad to see that
Absolutely.
from all sides.
Yeah, and it's not like their season's done like across the board. Like yes, for CollegiateR6, okay, that's it. But there is still other leagues that will be hosting some CollegiateR6 gaming or leagues rather. We do have NECC as well as NJCAAE. It's going to be hosting Rainbow Six, so it's not like the semester is done for them already here in January. No, we're going to be just having some season openers and whatnot for them. I think technically starting within the next 2 weeks or so. So we'll still get to see the squad in action. It's unfortunate. Couldn't quite clutch it up here for the CollegiateR6 overtime round there. But damn, did they put on a show, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, and with that being said, we will be slowly wrapping things up here for the evening. But before we do head out, make sure you guys check out our newest sponsor here. They joined us in September, and we have been loving it since. Welcome in Crunchyroll here. You guys can get a 14-day premium trial for free at crunchyroll.com/Saints. Crunchyroll is essentially the Netflix of anime here. Any anime you could ever want to watch will most likely be on Crunchyroll, and you guys can get 14-day for free at crunchyroll.com/Saints. So once again, if you're interested, crunchyroll.com/Saints. And with that being said, thank you to our other sponsors as well, to Tim Hortons, Subway, the St. Clair SRC, St. Clair College Alumni Association, and the St. Clair College Zeckelman School of Business. Finally, we got some of the merch on here. You got the mask, I got the jacket on. If you guys want to talk a little bit about the merch here, go ahead.
Yeah, I had to take the jacket off there for a bit because it was just getting so warm. But that's absolutely a good thing, as of course the winter season is now upon us. So why not take a look at one for yourself? Of course, at acquire.ca/Saints. Of course, plenty of like jerseys and t-shirts and whatnot, but so much like warm wear or what do you want, winter clothing to be taken advantage of as well. I know the crew neck has been a popular one as of late too, so be sure to take a look. Maybe make a little wish list for yourself, and maybe there will be a way to get in a contest or something, maybe sometime in the future. Maybe not saying there for sure will be, but maybe, maybe not hinting at nothing for you late night folks. Thank you all for tuning in, by the way.
Yeah, honestly, if you're still in the stream here at this point in time, you are the real champion here right now. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We really appreciate all of the support for this amazing matchup we did be able to provide to you guys here tonight. So, thank you for joining us all. My name was Jackson Pride Brown, joined alongside Dan, Mr. Danner's Banner. This was CollegiateR6 between St. Clair and West Virginia Wesley. We had a banger game. Thank you guys for joining us, and we'll catch you all on the next one.